Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Panda Phil, and welcome to Toon Talk Live, where we talk about all things Toony and Toontastic. And thank you so much for all those that were. I've been really patient with me because last week I wasn't able to stream. There was all sorts going on with my son, and it's still going, but it's a bit more manageable. My wife has been very wonderful and said it's basically okay still for me to be streaming today, which is lovely. And it's a very exciting stream today because today we have got the wonderful Smirky joining us, sharing their Toontown experiences as well as what they've been doing to raise money for charities such as St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Which brings me to my next point is that we are raising money for St. Jude's, if you can't tell already from up here. And from the last stream, basically, like a bunch of you donated, and we hit over the $200 mark, which is incredible. I am aware that I have a bunch of redemptions to sort out. So what I'm thinking of doing, just so you're all aware, is I'm hoping to actually just like do a special stream where like loads of things get redeemed and you can be entertained by everything that happens and the torture that I give myself. But first of all, congratulations Tinker Baby for being officially first, as well as Cat for being officially second. No matter what anyone says, they were here first and second, like before absolutely anyone else. Before Toontown even existed, they were there first. But how is everyone doing? Are we having a good morning, afternoon, evening? What's life been doing for all of us? I would love to know. And just so people are aware, I am also trying to like stream on YouTube. And we'll see how it goes. I don't know how it'll work. It may go completely wrong. We'll see. It should, but it'll be great. It'll be great. It'll be wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. No, nothing could ever go wrong, right? Watching toads in my window. I'm sorry. Wait, what, Lav? I need. I need an explanation. Do you mean quite literally? You are watching toads in your window? Hey, Sandwich. How's it going? You having a good morning, afternoon, evening? I have never. I don't know why I made that seem really odd. I guess in UK you don't tend to get toads on your windows. It's yeah. I feel like I'm missing out on something. It's getting almost they're coming out. I don't really see. I have seen a toad. I'm not gonna say I haven't seen a toad. I have seen a toad. But you've only seen frogs in the UK. I say no. There is toads in the UK, but I think I mainly see frogs. Been watching a lot of charity streams this month. Little Sneezy streams every day in May. I love it. Yes, it is a big time for St. Jude, especially in May. The month of May is like the key time for St. Jude's Play Live campaign. It does go from April through to May, but they're doing like a lot of people do it in the May time, which I love. It's great. And just so you're aware, there's going to be a bunch of other creators on Toontown later on today and throughout this week, I believe, because there is a whole bunch of things going on where they're all raising money for St. Jude's, which is just wonderful. So if you are unaware, part of it we'll be doing today, and I'll be sticking around for however much I can. I'm just going to find out where the details is. So there's a marathon series. So today it is buildings and racing. I won't be doing the whole thing of that because that's going to be very difficult for me to do. But then May the 23rd is VP and Factory. May the 24th is CFO and Mints. May the 30th is a CJ and DA office. And May the 31st is CEO and golf courses. I will be looking to try and do a couple of those as well because it'd be good to do it with others. But I'm also very aware that I am a family friendly streamer, and so it may not work well for everyone else. Um, which is lovely. I mean, they have been really good about it, and but I'm so aware that as soon as I start like collaborating with anyone, there is an expectation of like, yeah, I'm really sorry, but like, can we just keep things family friendly, so I can stay in, because family friendly is a key thing for me, and it's part of what I do for Toontown Written. It's been good. It's been good. We had so much fun yesterday in Minecraft with my friends. I have not played. Actually, I played Minecraft last Tuesday. It was great fun. I had a great time. It was we did some really cool stuff on there. But I really wanted to get. I'm like, just so you know, if you're unaware already, like I'm in my early 30s. So and everyone knows that when you're in your early 30s, you gotta like birds. Okay, you hit a point where you're like birds are pretty awesome. So there's a game that I really want to get called Flock Around, which is literally £4.
Oh yeah, beautiful. Face me, face me. Oh.
That was the trailer for it. which is basically you just take pictures of birds. So I'm like, do you know what? I'm gonna embrace the fact that I'm in my early 30s and just like get a game where I can take pictures of birds. You're younger than I thought. Yes. I don't know whether I should be, whether I need to like start dyeing my hair to make it look like I'm a little bit younger. But clearly, I need to do something to like look my age, because clearly I've aged. Maybe streaming's aging me. Each time I stream, I just look like a little bit older. So maybe once I'm like 40, I'll look 60 and dashing. If you are here for the interview with Smirky, we've got a whole bunch of questions, including some from the community. That will be happening in just under 20 minutes time. So the plan is that Smirky will be streaming at the same time, and we'll be streaming together. I'll be doing a Q&A, and there will be golf happening. So you are very welcome to join us for a round of golf. You have older, wise person energy, that's all. Laugh, it's okay. I realised too late that my comment was rude. Do you know what? It's all good. I have had, like, last week, some, like, teenagers were, like, trying to guess my age, and they're like, you must be 54, right? And I'm like, why is that your first thought? When was this a thing to, like, go straight for 54? And, like, they kept doubting me each time they went younger, and I was like, this is just insulting. I don't deserve this. I didn't think so anyway. So I stopped talking to them briefly. But it's all good. But what we're going to do is I am going to get myself onto Toontown, because I want to make sure for this for this that I make myself look all Toontastic and in my golfing gear. I feel like it's needed. Let's get the music on. Yeah, there's a YouTuber I like who hair's fully grey. Apparently he's been having greying since teens. The only one that I can think of that is got grey hair is it Link? That's one that I immediately think of, but I don't know if it's Link that you're referring to. But yeah, so I've been going grey for several years now, but it's sort of like rapidly increased. I'm not saying that my child is to blame for it, but there are signs. No, my son gives me joy, and if you're interested, in 11 days' time, my son is 1 year old, which is bonkers, and I don't feel okay with that. He shouldn't be a year old already. Oh, Jacksepticeye! Yeah, Jacksepticeye. Yeah, Jacksepticeye went grey. That's true, because he covered it with his hair. Oh my gosh, I forgot how amazing this estate is now. Oh, I still need to do some more stuff on it. Look at this! Look at this epicness! Just a pig looking through my window. This is wonderful. Okay, I want to just get a golfing hat. That's what I need, just to look more the part of a golfer. Ready for my wonderful Q&A with Smirky, which is really good. Okay, I think I should maybe change the shoes as well. Oh, but if I change the shoes, then I'm going to totally forget what shoes I was wearing. Yeah, let's just keep the shoes. I think I'm pushing it too far otherwise. I think... cape? I had a grey streak in my hair since I was 15. No idea why. I mean, the thing is, like, if you can see here, I've got grey right here, a grey streak. So I'm just trying to like emanate Mr. Fantastic. And if you see Mr. Fantastic, it has a grey on the side. But like the problem is, I've got greys here, and to make it more insulting for me, I got this 3D scanner for work. So I was like, I'm gonna test it out. And I was like, hey, I'm just gonna do a 3D scan of my face. And when I did it, I looked at it. I was like, why is it emphasizing the amount of greys in my hair? I don't think I deserve that. A 3D scanner, yeah, like basically a 3D camera, like so you can take a picture, stuff like you can take 3D pictures. It's amazing, like good for like virtual spaces or gaming. Really, really cool. Speaking of which, Nav, I feel like you'd be excited by this, maybe, or just because we're a partner. Like I'm attempting to do a game jam, which started today. And I've got an idea for it, for the theme. We'll see how it goes. Just because I'm like, I've been playing around with like game design ages, and I'm like, I just want to do it. I just want to give it a shot. Probably do really bad at it, but be really proud of myself just for trying one. Role am I taking? This is a fun thing. All of them. I'm actually doing it solo. It's one of the ones where it's either do it as like a very small team, or we can do it solo. I was like, I'll just do it solo for my first one because we'll see what happens. Okay, I don't like any of my backpack things. I mean, they are cool, but I I don't think they give me golfing vibes. But yeah, I'm going solo, which is gonna be interesting. The theme's folklore. So I've got a cool idea. I say a cool idea. I don't know if I can actually pull it off, but it is a basic idea. I quite like. I like the thought of it. I think it's good. I think, but it's all what I'm thinking of is creating a game based on Robin Hood, much loved character, part of folklore in Britain. But what I'm gonna do is like have it where it sort of you start to question whether Robin Hood is someone that we should be like praising or someone that should be a villain, like, and because depending on what viewpoint you take, he could be one of either. And so I was going to do something but in the game where it creates that sort of confusion almost as to, like, what do we actually think. So yeah, and it reflects on current culture and everything that's going on in the world, and it's a crazy world, you know. I think for those who do not know, the UK is in a very interesting place right now, politics-wise. I'm not going to go into politics too much. There's the one thing I'm going to do, the one small there segment of politics from the UK, looking into America. There's some of us that are like there's interesting things going on in America. I'm saying about it interesting. You can interpret that as you wish. In the same way, if you're looking at the UK in England right now, you could say things are looking quite interesting. No one knows what's going on in terms of politics. It is crazy, and who knows what to expect. It's a brave new world for us in England right now. I'm actually not meant to be hanging around here. I'm actually trying to go somewhere. Let's go to Blam Canyon. I think I'm going to. I think that's where I'm going. So just so you got an idea of what this Q&A is going to involve, it will involve a couple of questions about Smirky's time on Toontown, and sort of not just like in Toontown itself, but like his content creation journey in like through the medium of Toontown as well as exploring his involvement in like raising money for all sorts of causes, especially St. Jude. I wanted to highlight St. Jude for St. Jude Play Live, and I think what he's done is phenomenal, and I'm just inspired by Smirky's fundraising efforts. They are just legendary in my opinion, and I'm just trying to remember what the thing is. That's not it. Oh, donate, is that it? So if you would like to donate, if you're on Twitch, I have got the campaign link there. So if you would like to donate to St. Jude's, please feel free to do so. The goal for that I'm hoping to reach by the end of May, we'll see, is $400. $400. That's what I'm aiming for. I mean, but like we've been smashing it so far already, which has been amazing. Hey Jake, how is it going? Are you having a good morning, afternoon, evening? I hope you're doing well. And if you are over on YouTube and you would like to donate as well, feel free to. Here's the details of it. The link's there. I'm just going to pin it. If you would like to donate, feel free to do so, but you do not have to. And hey Evan, how are you doing? Having a good morning, afternoon, evening. It's so good to see you here. So yeah, I'm just going to sort of get ready for Smirky to join. So you can join my stream, you can join Smirky's stream. Either way, you're going to be listening to what's happening. For those who are on YouTube, I'm just going to be completely transparent. I'm hoping that you can hear Smirky at the same time. This is literally like a test of whether it's going to work well on YouTube or not. I hope it will. I just can't guarantee it. So if you can't hear Smirky, I do massively apologise. And it's just maybe checking out the stream in a different platform without saying what platform it could be, or checking out Smirky's streams. But hopefully, I'm hoping it will go through. So if it doesn't, I apologise. I would have learnt my lesson then. But yeah, that's what's happening. And if you are not fully aware of the campaign, there are different incentives that you could like for donating, where you can make me suffer in different ways or just have a bit of fun. So for example, you can do $1 for one squat, as in I do the squats based on how many dollars you give. $10 make you wear some Mickey Mouse gloves for 20 minutes. $3 make you add a bow tie to my current bow tie. A temporary tattoo, a mystery scratch space at $5, tattoos $4. The Big Chase 2026 Discord roll at $7. And a Carolina Reaper hot sauce snack, which I have here. for $20. And then there's the 1 day of meals for a patient, $25, and art supplies at $50. Not the gloves. The gloves, I mean, I love the gloves, but they are so awkward. And can you, I like the thought of having to wear them during the interview, I would just feel so silly. I just don't know how, no one will take me seriously. That's my concern. No one will take me seriously. If you don't know what the gloves look like, let me just show you. Hold on. Let me get them for you. Let me just show you what's happening, what they are. If that amount is donated and you redeem it, I've got to wear these for 20 minutes. And so what would happen, okay, just so you got an idea, is I would have to wear these 20 minutes. And if you timed it for when, just before I do my Q&A with Smirky, because I may miss it if it's happened during the Q&A, I'll be like talking to Smirky, like, Smirky, tell us about what inspires you. Okay, it's just not going to work too well. Okay. But yeah, I mean, these are really cool. Like, I do like these. I got these from a charity shop, and then I think they actually are from Disney, because I saw them on Disney for like monies, and I got these for, I think, £2 maybe. So it was a great deal. Yeah, I love a good charity shop. They are amazing. But yeah, I'm hoping later on this month I will do some special events where we'll do a long stream where we'll be redeeming some of the things that we've already reached for St. Jude, but also some other bits and pieces that I might try and throw in as well. I just got to organise the right day for it. It'll probably be a Saturday. So yeah, I went thrifting yesterday and got some nice shirts and some shoes I've been eyeing for a while. Amazing. I mean, the Donald Duck shoes that I got several months ago from a charity shop, they're starting to peel apart, so I need to get some like fabric glue to try and keep them together, which is very much needed. Okay, let's go this way so we can at least get ready for the wonderful Smirky. Yeah, I was very sad that I will not wear these anymore until I've got them fixed. Yes, waterproof glue, absolutely. It's I really need to get it done. Oh, sorry, I just respond to Smirky. Yeah, I think there is a specific glue for shoes. I'm pretty certain there is. I'm just communicating with the wonderful Smirky, whilst I just shoe glue direct to you. That if that's not the name of a company, I'll be so sad. And if it isn't a name, Lav, you have an opportunity here to win in life with an incredible company name. The opportunity is there. The opportunity is there. And I really enjoyed walking. Look at him. Oh. Just enjoying a good old walk. SEO Straz 1000. Just full on, like, just a master of life. What, Cat, did you just dive at me? Is that what just happened? Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Okay, I'm gonna go right. I'm just gonna go right here. Just here. I'm just gonna double check. Okay, I'm gonna just message Smirky. Also, okay, I'm gonna keep an eye on it on my wonderful Discord with Smirky in preparation. It's very, very exciting. So, and also just to mention as well, any gifted subs or bits, a portion of that will go towards the St. Jude's as well. So that is another option as well if you would like to do it that way. And so basically, I'll figure out towards the end of the month, see how much I'll be in total. And yeah, it should be really good. Should be really good. Let me check. So you've got 4 more minutes until we join the wonderful Smirky. And we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 questions. And if you missed out the previous Toon Talk Live with Joey from the wonderful creative director of Toontown Rewritten, check out part 1 on YouTube. Part 2 will come out on the 21st of May, and then equally these interviews with Smirky will also go on YouTube in June, if you would like to rewatch them again. And they won't be VODs, I will edit them slightly. So, but yeah, the Joe one I had to split into two because it went on for an hour and a half, and it took a lot of editing and some other bits and pieces, so I broke it down to two, which I think was the right idea. And one of them, the one that's on YouTube right now, is the questions that I had. The next one is much longer, which is the community questions. This one I've mixed up the community questions within my questions, just because some of the questions that people asked just made sense to blend in with what I'm asking, just due to the direction of it. So it's good, it's really good, and the questions that the community have given are wonderful. I really like them. They're amazing. That's a good point. Sorry, I'm just Smirky's now asking me some very good questions. Yeah, that's what I was. No, I'm meant to ask the questions here. Smirky's asking me questions. I'm not prepared for it. Sorry, I'm so sorry about that being quiet. I'm just in focus mode now. Basically, yeah, Smirky just asked me the most phenomenal question, and it got me thinking. it got me thinking. I was like, I'm not prepared for this. So, well played, Smirky, for asking a very, very good question that puts all my questions to shame. Oh dear. Right, let me see. Actually, wait. Can I do that at the same time? Okay, I might have figured it out. Just as a warning. Okay, right. We are going to join. I'm hoping to get this correct. This could go totally wrong, but we'll see. It's just going to be funny either way, because you're just going to see how, like, I'm just struggling. Right. So, why is that not coming through? My switch. Okay, here we go. Getting it sorted. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Why? Okay. If anyone's in Smirky stream, can you just let Smirky know? I'm having to. It doesn't like Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer is banned from doing stream together. So I've got to like go onto Chrome and just go through all of it again. Ah, silly thing. Okay. I'm making this work. That's not gonna work, is it? Wait. I don't know what's happening. Everything's going wrong. No, it's like basically I can't do Smirky. I'm basically like trying to sort out. Stream together won't happen on Internet Explorer, so how much did I do it elsewhere? Okay, I'm figuring it out. Sorry, it's shared chat. I will make this work. I'm so sorry. Nothing's working for me. Okay, start again. I'm getting back into it. I'm going to rejoin Smirky's thing. Okay. Right, there we go. We're now on the shared chat. Welcome in, everyone. Okay, I'm going to now join. Okay, this working. Oh dear, oh dear. This is phenomenal. Okay. Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I don't know what I'm doing with my video. Basically, everything I'm trying to do with video is going wrong, and it just shows how technologically poor I really am.
Were you... Was Lav making a comment about, like, Internet Explorer not working with, like, the stream together thing, or...
Yeah, so Internet Explorer, like, so Twitch doesn't allow, has stopped it from working, so Stream Together only supports Chrome and Firefox for now.
Oh, yes, it does.
Yeah, so I've moved on to Chrome, so it's all good for that one. But yeah, I was like, and then video just was not doing it for me, which is okay. Yeah. You asked me some very good questions about cameras.
Let's see. Can you talk in the microphone real quick so I can adjust volume?
Sure thing, yeah. Is that okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is that all good? Or should I just keep talking? Hi, everyone on Smirky's chat.
I think you should be fine, but chat will be the ones to confirm or deny.
Yeah, they can...
What district are you in, by the way?
Blam Canyon.
Perfect.
Oh, and Lava said Pandapool is very, very low on your side, Smirky. How is...
Yeah, that's why I was adjusting. It sounds like it's not like you're muffled, but it sounds like you are coming through just fine, but it sounds like it's I don't know. Are you using your correct microphone on Discord?
Oh, good question. Hold on a minute. This happened before where it just completely changed it and it was really annoying. Is that better?
Way better. Yeah. Oh, yes.
I don't know why Discord keeps changing it. I have it as default as my actual microphone, but yeah, there you go. I'm glad that's much better. I'm so sorry. I do know what I'm doing, I promise.
No, it's okay. Yeah, Discord does that.
Okay, we got it figured out. Okay, we can hear each other. That's the important thing. That's like the most important thing in all of this, right?
100%.
Amazing. So, before we start off the interview, oh, sorry.
Oh, did you want me to like try to turn on my camera? Would you rather have me like visually or what? Because you had Joey visually, so I want to make sure I know what works best for you.
I'm happy for us just to talk like this. It's okay. Yeah, I don't want to add more pressure onto your PC or anything, and it's okay. We can just have some fun golfing and just talking about life, like Toontown life. Content creation life since June.
Life.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Amazing.
Whatever works for you works for me. Yep.
Basically, like I'll let you choose which set of golf course do you want to
do. Ooh, let's see. We could. Why don't we start easy and work our way up? How about that?
That sounds like a good plan. I will lead the way, and then we can do the questions. So let me get the wonderful questions up so they're all ready. And first of all, thank you so much for like agreeing to do this, as well as being really patient because of like last week. For those who don't know, we were meant to do the Q&A last week, and then family things happened, and so I had to like postpone it, which I do massively apologize for. But thank you so much for your patience.
No, it's all good. Life happens. I think I'm very understanding of that. So not a problem at all.
That's really kind of you. Thank you so much. And so, for those that are watching, I figured we can just do like a Q&A whilst having a relaxing game of golf, and that way I can't be too competitive, hopefully. So, for those who don't know who you are, like, who are you, and what is your Toontown journey?
Yeah. So, excuse me. Yes, my name is Smirky. I have pretty much like grown up just as much as like Toontown has grown up. So this game has been a part of my journey for a very long time, probably since like 2008. So I had my run-in with Toontown Online at a young age, and have pretty much been around the Toontown private server circuit ever since the private server circuit began. Uh, yeah, and I am primarily known as a content creator and live streamer here on Twitch. And really, Toontown is like kind of what got the ground running for me. So there's definitely a lot of years of history, a lot of Smirky lore. Oh yes, in the Toonbook trenches with the rest of everyone. Yes, I was definitely a day one Toonbook user as well. It's been forever since I've thought about it, but correct. Yeah, there is a lot of history that I have come across in my time, and somehow on May 11th, 2026, I am still here and still kicking it and still doing amazing things with the community.
Absolutely, like what you've been doing over your journey has been like nothing short of incredible, and we will go into that a little bit later on. One of the questions that came from the community, which I think is a really good question, is what got you into streaming in the first place?
I kind of just like stumbled into it. So when it comes to like my origin story as like a streamer, it pretty much boiled down to me already having like a YouTube channel that I was making. Like I started off with like making silly little videos. And there's like a little bit of lore there, but if you look past that, like along the way, my YouTube channel pretty much like I remember it like got partnered. I built up a few thousand subscribers, and I remember this banner appearing above my channel, like a horizontal banner, and it pretty much was like, hey, so we have this like Google Plus social network, we have Google Plus Hangouts, right, which is basically like the Zoom equivalent before Zoom was really cool and took off, especially during COVID. And they had this like on-air broadcasting feature that it said try now, and I was like, sure, why not? Let's just, let's try it. Let's see what happens. I go live. Quite literally tell people that I stumbled into it. And the first broadcast I ever did, I honestly want to say it might have been like either the or one of the first Toontown live streams, at least that I know of, in terms of live streams. Summer of 2012, I don't remember the exact date, but all I remember was like 20 to 30 people concurrently watching me, and a crowd suddenly forming around me in the game on my first stream with like no like real streaming experience. And from that day on, I never looked back when it comes to like starting out with streaming. I would stream to either a small audience or to about nobody, and like Toontown quite literally was at the beginning of it all.
Which is incredible to think. Like, yeah, it started off with Toontown and still here making fantastic content and just bringing a whole lot of joy to the community. And I also realized I'm going the completely wrong way. It's this way, isn't it, for a 6-hole course?
This would be a 6-hole course, yeah. I gotta get a win now because I lost.
And so with that in mind, with like starting with Toontown still being here, like you have been a key member of the Toontown community for all those years. What, like looking at Toontown overall, and it doesn't not just like Toontown written, but looking at the servers in general and just the overall community, what are some of the biggest changes that you have seen happen?
Um, some of the biggest changes I've seen happen. Let me think through this because I've seen a lot of change and I've seen a lot of like people come and go as
Mm.
well. Um, I've seen uh a lot of like, I mean, obviously, first of all, with like the content creation landscape, a lot of like more editing and like, algorithmic strategy behind people's content.
Mm.
But I just remember back in the day, like really enjoying different creators and like just the silly little videos that they put up, people uploading just about anything. It could be Toontown music videos, it could be game shows, it could be, just silly little things that like uh you know people just uploaded for the sake of like sharing something funny.
Mm.
So that was like one thing that has certainly changed over time. uh I would say I've also like started to see a lot less like, I can't remember the last time that like I saw like a solid like Toontown hacker because I feel like
Mm. Yeah.
we talked about this the other day on my stream, but like I feel like that uh like you don't get the lefties or the trap hackers anymore. You don't get the magic cats of the world. You don't really see any like hardcore hackers anymore on like Toontown games. Like back then it was all the craze about how much of a problem it was to see hackers in the game. And now you don't really see them as much. So that is something in game related that has definitely like changed. So like uh and then of course like the fall of Toontown Online and the start of Toontown Rewritten with the Yes Toon Book announcement, and the rest is history from there. But I remember seeing a lot of like things come and go with like Toontown Rewritten, like Storm Sabot, all that stuff.
That's the yeah. So much has happened, and yeah, it's very quiet in terms of the hackers. Maybe something will suddenly appear, and then it will be all crazy again. But I think
Yeah, all
what's
because I said something.
yeah, you've triggered it. But I think it's really interesting about like what you said about the content creator landscape because yeah, for me, I've like just from my side of it, it has like I've seen like small changes of it in the couple of years that I've been like
Yeah, yeah.
streaming, and so it's like I'm seeing like how many like the changes in like content that's being made and also the content creators that are around, and even like where I've been spending a bit more time looking into YouTube a bit more. I like because of the algorithm, I'm getting like all sorts of like Toontown content from like 8-9 years ago, and I've just got to watch it and just see some like rich history of Toontown content, and it's just so different, but I love it.
It is.
It's
Oh
like
yeah.
it's like
I
finding a
mean,
treasure chest of gold.
I mean, it really is, I mean, you can't ever forget like Double Exposure's Level 7 Gags video or like Princess Kate Nuba Schuber, like, taking on the VP at Low Laugh. Um, and those were like the videos that like defined the community. And now it's like way different in terms of the kinds of content that's out there. But yeah, like there are definitely names that like will stick out in the content side of the community for sure.
Absolutely. And so with like where that's been like the changes in terms of like the highlights, what's been your biggest highlights when it comes to Toontown?
Um, so biggest highlights. I would say like I can answer part of it as a streamer and then just like anything that like comes up to me. Like personally, I always like enjoyed the staff members like hopping on like Toon Troopers and Resistance Rangers and like seeing them in game because that like kind of made me embody that like whole toony spirit of like the community, like just seeing these like super cool figures like
Mm.
running around the game, very similar to like Club Penguins, like you know uh Penguins, like the band or Rock and Hopper or whatever. Like I really was like so excited to like see a Toon Trooper join my party or like a Resistance Ranger like join us for VP. I also remember being so excited when Disney's like Get Connected show like dropped the collaboration with Toontown. So it was like when accessories were being announced, I was like coming back from a trip overseas with my family and pulled up the YouTube video in the airport, and I was like, oh my gosh, like they're adding accessories, and these you know, hosts are going to be running around Toontown, and I ended up like doing buildings with them, and like it was those little moments that really like essentially just like made, you know, being in the community so like exciting for me, and just made me like embody that spirit that Toontown essentially, you know, wants you to carry forward, and build up from an early age. In terms of streaming highlights, there's not as much that I remember from like my earlier days of like streaming, because a lot of it was like streaming to maybe like 6 like people, and or like 2 people, like just going live and broadcasting for the sake of it. Um but yeah, like I just kind of remember the more prominent like moments. So I remember maybe like a marathon here or two that like really brought like so many people in the community together. And I particularly remember one like highlight for Toontown Online. This is before Rewritten. Like I remember that everyone was so excited to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of Toontown. And I remember having started stream, there were hundreds of people watching me on YouTube, because I was a YouTube streamer before I decided to stream on Twitch, which can always be talked about a little later. And like I remember like trying to load into Toontown Central and loading into like the biggest Toon takeover of Toontown Central I had ever seen. And like streaming in front of like so many people in the community, and walking into the PowerPoint presentation that was Toontown Central. Oh, that was a close shot.
Oh, that was close.
Walking into the PowerPoint presentation that was Toontown Central was really like stunning to see the community come together to celebrate 10 years of Toontown Online, because of how much we all love this game. And it was a shame that it came right around the closing of Toontown, but that was like a really big like celebration that I will always like remember. It was, I think DCamp05 was the username of the person that like organized it, and I like helped promote it, and it was a really big deal. And I don't know, it's just like seeing the community come together, I think, is my like shorter answer. Just like the moments that stuck out to me, like the highlights that made this game so special. And getting to stream it and like share those experiences with others was always super, super cool. Which then ties into the highlights that I get on games like Toontown Rewritten, when I happen to be in passing and I see someone off to the side that's like, OMG, like, is that Smirky? Like, freaking out, like, you know, recognizing me, which is kind of surreal in a way. Yeah, for Toontown Online, those were some big highlights for me. And then Toontown Rewritten came along when I thought that like I would not be able to make any Toontown content ever again, and I'd have to like find something else to make videos on or whatever. Toontown Rewritten came along and changed a lot of lives and kept the community together, and definitely impacted my life too. So yeah, that's my very long-winded answer. I like to ramble and yap, as you can probably tell.
Hey, I love it. I love the rambles, because it just gives an insight as to like bit of your story and the highlights for you. And I think it's what I find really interesting is about how you mentioned about obviously thinking that like when Toontown Online closed, thinking, oh well, that's it in terms of the content, but actually then Toontown Written came along. Now I asked this question to Joey a couple of weeks ago, and so I want to ask the question to you as well, which I know I haven't planned, but did you, when Toontown Written was launched, did you expect it to still be going to this day?
That's a good question. I mean, I I really don't know. I mean, I don't think anyone really truly could have imagined how long, like, the lifespan of the game would go. I don't think when anyone started out, the goal was to outlast like Toontown Online.
Yeah.
The goal was just to get something back on the table. So I would say I didn't think that like not out of like doubt, but just like I don't think it was even in the realm of like consideration for a lot of us in the community that like Toontown Rewritten would go on to, you know, be the server that, you know, brings the community back, withstands the test of time, even as like other projects come up and sometimes even rival it. Toontown Rewritten has stood firm and is like just this like it really is just this like shining example of a server. And like I mean, I don't know. It's just like it's just really amazing because it brings that Toonie nostalgic feeling to so many people. It's the game that people hop on when they think about Toontown for the first time in a while, and the fact that people today can still have those experiences is like just really amazing. So yeah, I don't think I figured that Toontown Written would be around as long as it has, but it really is amazing with how long it's been around.
Yeah, it's crazy how long it's been, and like it's now, yeah, I said it's gone on for longer than Toontown Online, which is mad. But it's also just amazing how there are so many different other like servers out there that have taken different interpretations of what Toontown Online could have been, and there's more to come, which is
Yeah.
just really exciting to see where the community is at the moment. And from there, I guess one of the things that I've always found really interesting about your streams in particular is that every so often, like you get the wonderful joy of going to lots of different events, such as DreamHack, and I I got to go to DreamHack in the UK not long ago, and like it was
Oh yeah.
amazing, and like it was cool because like I got to see people just streaming there and then, and I was like, this is a really awesome thing to do, which then got me thinking about actually like sometimes you are streaming Toontown in those events. So how do other streamers react in that event when they see that you're streaming Toontown?
I mean, I got answers that span from years of going to some pretty like big established events, right? Like
Mm.
DreamHack is one of those. Which you know, I think by the time this goes up, I will have just come back from like DreamHack Atlanta because that's coming up. Um, and going to like stream and talk about Toontown at events has been like super fun. Because people don't expect it when creators or other people in the industry ask for your story. They want to know your elevator pitch. They're curious about what you do. I don't think many of them expect someone to come out of the woodworks and say that they stream a game like Toontown. Maybe they think of Fortnite or Call of Duty or something. But but like being able to share my like content as like a Toontown streamer has been really interesting, and I've had some pretty memorable conversations at DreamHacks, at TwitchCons, about like people's loves for Toontown that I unlock for them because it's kind of like going in and you know, unlocking their memory vaults a little bit when I bring it up, and they're like, "Whoa, I remember playing that game with my family member, with my friends growing up." Um, and like being able to share those experiences with them was really powerful to me. So the game is still up. That's so cool. Literally, someone in my chat the other day asked like if Toontown was still like you pay memberships to like you pay monthly, but no, people are still learning that Toontown private servers like Rewritten and Corporate Clash, they have their games out there for free, and they're all internally funded by volunteers, and they won't accept your donations. They won't apply microtransactions. It's all for the love of the game, right?
Hmm.
There very much is a decent amount of people that are not as familiar with Toontown's story, and it's really cool as a creator to be able to tell that story of a beloved community that is tight knit, that you know, is not like the most watched category on Twitch or anything, but is just like, you know, just beautiful in its own right. And yeah, just being able to kind of, I guess, like more or less represent the community after all this time. Not that I'm like the representative. People might joke that I'm the Toontown mayor, which I'm not. Um, they mistake me for the other blue dog, I think. But
I think so.
yeah, yeah. No, the game is just like, you know, it just means a lot to me, like it does to a lot of other people, and it's cool to be able to talk about it with others. I have, you know, seen other large creators like make videos, essays of the game, or they've streamed the game on their channels. Um, you'll hear about like high profile creators that get around to streaming Toontown. In 2016, a year after I did my first Twitch stream, Tim the Tatman had rated me, I think, twice
Wow.
on Twitch with like over like, I don't know, like 10,000 viewers easily.
Wow.
Because he was already streaming it on his channel for like a couple days. He went around rating different creators. I'm pretty sure I have video footage of him rating me once. I'm pretty sure he rated me twice. So we have like, there's a history of like high profile creators like trying the game. I remember also the other quick story. Fast forwarding to TwitchCon San Diego in 2022. I got invited by the partnerships team to like it was like this golfing event. Like you get to San Diego a couple days early, and then they bus you all to like one of the golf courses in the nearby area, and it was a bunch of like Twitch streamers. There were some high profile ones, like Nate Shot was there, and a bunch of these like partners that had like managers, and then there's just little old me who streams Toontown, like hopping in the golf cart, which is fitting because we're playing golf right now. But as I arrived at the venue, I bumped into Tifu, and he was like on the bus with me, and I mentioned what I stream while I introduced myself, and he was like, "No way, you you stream Toontown? That's so cool. I've like played it for a long time." And he like ended the conversation with like, you know, go drop pianos on those cogs, right? Like just making the out of left hand comment, and I'm just thinking to myself, this is so cool that like, you know, this silly little game that I just like started streaming for fun ends up creating connections with all these people that I never thought I would even remotely get to meet, greet, talk to, in a lot of cases make like genuine friendships with. It's crazy who you rub elbows with in this space, and I never imagined that because I started streaming this game that my journey could go where it has in terms of establishing myself as a creator, in terms of making an impact in the world. I don't know. And it's all just because I like this game, and I just like connecting with people in chats and in real time. And I could yap literally forever. You'd be so scared to introduce yourself. Yeah, like, I don't know. I definitely for a long time, like, idolize, you know, these creators that get the views, they get the money, they get the audiences. But for me, it was going, sorry if I'm skipping ahead just a little bit, but it was me going to my first St. Jude Play Live Summit, and Dr. Lupo was there, and he had raised so much money for St. Jude, but I realized very quickly after finally saying hello that I had no reason to be nervous to talk to him, and very down to earth, very genuine, like, conversations that, you know, made me realize that, like, there's just, you know, we're all just, like, here creating and, you know, banding together with our communities and making a difference, and they really are just people at the end of the day. I'm just a person. I'm just a broke 20-something-year-old at the end of the day. But I got people that look up to me and have for a very long time, which is flattering. And I'm very grateful for it, you know. So yeah, I'm talking way too much. So
No, I love it. It's just so good. And like, I mean, you spoke about St. Jude, and we will be going into that because I'd love
yeah.
just to explore that a bit more. But I guess before we do so, the one question I do have, which I feel like you have sort of touched on quite a few times already, which has been wonderful, is like, I asked it to everyone that I interview for this Q&A,
Okay.
is what does Toontown mean to you?
Mm. What does Toontown mean to me? Um, Community is part of it, but that can't be exactly my answer. Toontown to me, if I think of it personally, if I remove all the streaming, all the community-oriented stuff that I love to do, and I just, if I'm playing Toontown, I think of how colorful and vibrant the world is. I think about that Disney charm. I think about um, just, you know, how much of an impact cartoons had on many of our lives, including my own. Um, just being able to like see this world that is bright, even when something like a corporation, something like capitalism is coming in and trying to, you know, to take it over for its own evil needs. We're fighting back, and we're hitting them with jokes and pies in the face, and there's just something so charming about it that when I think about what Toontown means to me, it just means that the world, you know, the world can be playful, and it can be beautiful, and it is beautiful. It is playful. The people that you meet and the memories that you make stick with you for a lifetime. And I mean, if you ever walk into like Mickey's Toontown at like a Disney park, you're filled with that sense of curiosity and wonder and silliness, and that's exactly what like Toontown embodies, that I think everyone has and everyone can continue to learn from. So yeah, of course, like, being able to build a community around this game has been like the coolest opportunity. And at the end of the day, like, I love Toontown just as much as the next player. I am a player at heart, and I just, this game kind of just means everything. It means a lot to me. It's how I formed some of my most genuine friendships, whether it's within Toontown or, in the case of being a creator, beyond it further than I ever could imagine. So I don't know where my life would be without, like, Toontown. I feel like I would be a very different person without uh, without playing this game as much as I have. So that is what this game means to me. It means so much, and that really is just me speaking from my own personal side rather than like trying to encompass the community sentiments, which I typically do as like a creator and like someone that cares about the people around me a lot. But when it comes to my own like impact, or like my own ways that the game has impacted me, that would be like my answer. So yeah, and it's funny because the one other thing I forgot to mention was like the whole reason I have a Toon is because like my sister found Toontown in the first place. She's the one that like found the website, made an account. We shared the account, and then I eventually got my own a little bit later. She ended up like going into more different games and stopped playing after a while I was doing the streaming thing. But it quite literally, I didn't even find it. Like it was her that found Toontown, and I stumbled into it. I don't know why I'm good at stumbling into things, but that she's a big reason for me to like even be involved with Toontown and fall in love with this game as much as I have.
That's really, I love that. Okay, so sorry about your sister, but also just like how much it means to you. And also, I just
Yeah.
want to like highlight the fact that you gave such a really like in-depth answer whilst also doing a hole-in-one on a really awkward goal. I was like, how? I was in absolute shock. I was like, how are you like casually still going in this really in-depth like
I don't
answer
know.
for hole-in-one?
Maybe I got a lot of, I love golfing as an activity. It's it's so fun to play. I'm even just casually like paying attention as I'm getting a 4-person raid on Twitch right now. So
Oh wow.
this is awesome. Thank you for that raid. I really appreciate it. I'm being interviewed by the lovely Panda Phil Plays. So yeah, thank you for the raid. Thank you. Live on the interview. This is all in real time. It's not pre-recorded, people.
Not at all. Not at all. And so what we'll do now is sort of moving slightly away from Toontown, though Toontown is still a big part of it, and go into sort of the like St. Jude parks. I think that is amazing what you have done for various causes, especially for St. Jude, because if people are not aware of this, Smirky has raised over $100,000 for St. Jude. Is that correct?
Yes, so the number that I have raised for charity, it is altogether over 160,000 as of the latest numbers that I ran this early morning. Because I have a little like notepad with all my like totals plus any like prize winnings from, I don't know, like a tournament or something. I count those because the money is like donated in my name or whatever. But we've raised over $160,000 through our community, and then for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in particular, I even could pull up the exact number as I am live right now. If we want to get specific,
let's go for it. But I mean, just as you're finding it, I think it's like so incredible that you've raised that amount of money. It's not a small amount at all. So like like you should be really proud of yourself, and like also the community for like getting involved in this and making such a difference.
It's pretty surreal to look at the screen and see $105,235.70 as of 12:39 p.m. May 11th.
Wow.
When we crossed 100K, it was very surreal. It was it's a big shiny, unreal number. And the first St. Jude campaign I ever did in 2018 was we raised $1,400, but I didn't think another 100K would come after that, after the first year of fundraising. That was a close shot. You almost got a hole-in-one.
I know that I was like, if that's a hole-in-one, I'm gonna have to be so quiet and not cheer too loudly.
No, I would have cheered for you. I would have cheered for you. No, yeah, I've definitely like done my best to try to have it fully sink in, and even now it's still like surreal. Like it's so much money to raise in just a short amount of time that I've been like around, like period. I kind of like, it still like blows me away to know that so much money has been raised. And I mean, my first charity stream in 2014, like, I learned that you could take streaming and you could turn it into something real that helps people that you may never meet. And that was just something I latched back onto when I started fundraising for St. Jude. So to raise so much money is like, people with charity fundraising, streamers, we kind of wear our total amounts raised as like a badge of honor a little bit. I certainly do. Ultimately, like, it's not about how much we raise, but the fact that we're even doing it in the first place. And that being said, it's kind of impossible to ignore like how incredible the achievement is, right? It's pretty astonishing. I never thought that's where I would be right now, but here we are. Yeah, over 105,000 for St. Jude,
which is like it's a phenomenal amount. And what's interesting obviously is that the majority of what you've raised for like causes across the board is like the majority of it is for St. Jude. So for those who don't know, could you explain what St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is, and then secondly, like why does that cause mean so much to you?
I absolutely will. Yeah, I'm glad I can do it now and focus on that after scoring that hole in one.
You keep doing this.
Look, I just have the years of experience under my belt as a golfer, so what can I say? Um, okay, I'll lock in. So, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, they are the leaders in the fight against childhood cancer, as well as other life-threatening illnesses. They are a hospital. Their campus is based in the United States in Memphis, Tennessee. And they are also like a research institution. So they have not only nurses and doctors like to administer patient care and treatment, but they have, you know, a global research team from all over the world that is running formulas and looking at cells from a cellular level with the most incredible technology and microscopes that you could possibly get. The amount of stuff that I've learned about what they do is beyond what I comprehended when I first started raising money for them. And even then, I knew that they were the leaders in the fight against childhood cancer and that families never pay a bill for treatment or anything. Housing, food, travel, it's all covered. And it's all covered because of the amazing donations that come in for St. Jude. People that donate directly, people that donate to campaigns like ours, people that round up their pennies when they're purchasing food at checkout because of partnerships that they have with different brands. Every cent is adding up to allow St. Jude to administer the best patient care and to make the mission of finding cures and saving children advance. And these days, St. Jude is focusing more on a global scale. So it's not just treating kids in the Memphis area or across the country, but they really are like freely sharing their research with hospitals and facilities around the world. So that way we can take the childhood cancer survival rate that has been improved in the US and make that happen more on like a global scale. So that is pretty much a little glimpse at what St. Jude does. And I could go on for hours genuinely about the work that they do.
What they do is absolutely phenomenal, and I think like for me, it's like when I first heard of it, I thought what they do is fantastic and like it's such a game changer. Because I know in the UK we have the NHS and we get like we have like it's
Yes.
free healthcare, and so
Yeah.
like there's a certain level of like I think as a British person I'm like, oh well, that's quite normal, but then when I did research into like understand like what the costings are of these treatments, it's like I don't know how I would like how anyone could afford these things. So to have someone like St. Jude to have something where they say, okay, we're going to give the treatment, but the cost is just not there, is incredible. And I think for me, like it means even more so now where like I do have a son, and so I think, do you know what, there is every chance that like he could be in a position where he needs that treatment. I hope that will not happen, but I don't have a magic ball that tells me what the future holds, and so there's a certain level for me. I'm like there's a new element of meaning to like why St. Jude matters to me, and so like for you, I guess there's I guess another angle to it for you about what it like why it means so much to you also.
Yes. It you know, because that is something that a parent never wants to have to go through. Um, and it, you know, cancer impacts so many people, so many families. It has like definitely, you know, it's got its history on my side with like my family. And the tie-in with St. Jude, I started fundraising in 2018. I raised $1,400 my first year, which was to me like the most incredible thing I never could have like, you know, envisioned. We had some amazing donations come in that led to that number, and apparently St. Jude deemed me worthy to go to their St. Jude Play Live Summit. Play Live being the program that we raise money for, which is a collective of gamers and content creators of all kinds of different genres that band together every year and raise money for St. Jude. And they invited me to Memphis, Tennessee to the campus. So I was flown out and they take care of pretty much everything for everyone. You get hundreds of creators and industry leaders in the room. And y'all can imagine how my imposter syndrome was as, a growing, recently Twitch partnered Toontown streamer, but being in the room with, like I mentioned, like, really amazing creators that are raising so much more money than me. And it was a learning curve for me to like not like get in my head about like, oh, you know, they've raised more money than me, so why am I here? No, we were all genuinely supporting each other, uplifting each other. Um, it became like a family in a sense. And I described the St. Jude Play Live Summit as life altering. It really is, because now it's not as extensive because of COVID, but I got to go the last year before COVID, and it was my first summit. And we got to walk through the more of the campus halls of St. Jude. We got to interact with a few more patients, and there were even some veterans at that time that went to one of the on-site facilities, the Target House, and they like served lunches to parents uh, and these kids, and like it was more like on campus. It still is on campus now, but obviously with like COVID restrictions that are very much in place there, like just the things that haven't budged since the pandemic, because it's a hospital. Um,
Mhm.
so like, and people are like immunocompromised and stuff. Um, but I came back home from my first year of the St. Jude Play Live Summit, and in 2019, and in the springtime we raised uh we just barely passed like $10,000, because of like a big donation that came in at the very end of the campaign, kind of like a buzzer beater donation to get us past it. But we hit $10,000 in 2019, which, because I basically came back from the summit and a fire was lit under my butt, and I was like, I'm like, this mission is incredible. What I'm seeing is incredible. I have to tell everyone. I have to pie myself in the face 5 times. I have to do all these silly things on stream because I care about what the money is doing, and I know where it's going, and I know the impact of that money. And that is like, being able to tell those stories and share that with like not only the Toontown community, but the community that we've built on Twitch and beyond, collaborating with other like fundraisers. It was like the most incredible um, thing. And after I raised $10,000 in 2019, later in the year, I found out that one of my cousins ended up getting a rare form of bone cancer called Ewing sarcoma, and she started at a affiliate hospital in Tulsa, Oklahoma, before eventually starting to go back and forth to the Memphis campus, um, where St. Jude is. And suddenly the story turned more personal. Um, Her name is Faith, and I mean, she is grown up as a teen right now, and she was a bit younger when she got it in that 2019 era. And then of course COVID happened, so it's even more tumultuous and uncertainty on top of uncertainty, right?
Mhm.
With everything going on in the world. Um, but pretty much like 6 months later, after like she got, COVID, or sorry, after she got cancer, um, she, she's dealing with everything during the pandemic. And I already am fundraising for St. Jude. So I'm like, let's keep this going. Let's keep fundraising for Play Live. And 2020 was the year, ironically, that have raised the most money in a single year for St. Jude, which the number ended up being $20,420,
Wow.
which is quite literally like a fifth of that 100K like lifetime raise milestone. So you can imagine the emotions and the passion that went into that particular year of fundraising. Um, that as a Toontown streamer, again, I just never could have imagined. I mean, fundraising for St. Jude quite literally transformed my purpose and my meaning as a creator. Not only just getting on board with the mission of St. Jude in particular, but redefining my purpose. Instead of just being a guy that sits around and plays games, which I do, I can also do it in a way that makes a tangible impact in the world. And from then on out, I started leaning more into charity fundraising, looking at causes that are doing amazing things, fundraising for lots of other amazing charities and organizations. But I always circle back around to St. Jude. And nowadays, it's not as much about like how much we do raise in a single year. Yes, we celebrate hitting the goals and raising the
Mm.
goals when we're lucky to do so, like we have this year already. But it really is about like taking the time to raise that awareness, to share the stories, to share the founders' vision, to share the in between moments that really matter for these patients. So learning how to like effectively share those stories has made me a better storyteller and communicator. And I don't know, like having the family tie-in is just extraordinary. People at St. Jude still like talk about it. The most recent example was, oh my gosh, I literally could yap about this for such a long time. So I do apologize if like we do go on for too long or
Don't
anything. But like,
apologise. No, don't apologise for talking about St. Jude. No, please do go on.
I I have to tell you all this. I have to tell you all this. Some of you might know. I've posted about it. But did you know? Here's your fun fact of the day. Did you know that someone that works at ALSAC at St. Jude, ALSAC is the fundraising organization, the ones that actually like help raise the money. Did you know that there is someone that works at ALSAC that has worked there for over a decade that also worked at Disney Interactive with online games like Toontown?
What? That's crazy.
Her name is Melody Hannock, and before she got to St. Jude, she worked in the games industry and worked on the cogs and worked at Toontown and at Disney with the online games. And there's a lot I could say about her. She's brought up Toontown before at St. Jude Summit in front of all these amazing creators that like fundraise. She was also there this year, so I went to the summit about a month ago as well. Talking about some of the stuff that St. Jude has done with their recent like integrations with like NASA and space, because the whole theme of the summit this year was
Mm.
like space, and that's like a big frontier right now for a lot of people. Um, but I know, right? Like it's such a interesting jump, right? But the thing is, I brought her up because she was interviewed by the Twitch CEO on the Twitch channel. He does like a let's chat like podcast kind of thing on the official Twitch channel. So Twitch CEO Dan Clancy was interviewing Melanie, and Melanie was talking about the intersection between creators for St. Jude Play Live and the patients. And there's a lot of like great stories that come from it. But Melanie brought up my connection with my cousin Faith to him on that stream,
Oh, wow.
which is just to kind of like further exemplify how like this connection of the family tie-in has like really touched a lot of hearts. Other creators, my cousin has appeared on different streams here and there. Obviously, you have to be like a little careful about that with like HIPAA and everything. But she has joined Little Seahaw's like center stage dance-a-thon, pretty much to dumb it down. If you know the game Just Dance,
Mhm.
she streams a lot of it. She's also a Twitch ambassador, and she formed a really good bond with my cousin Faith, to the point where basically Faith's parents, who are like my aunt and uncle, like they kind of basically just said, oh yeah, like we've adopted her, like she's kind of like part of the family at this point,
Oh,
like with her stream. So Faith has appeared on different streams, and she's also like she's very avid on like TikTok and everything, like any teenager would
Yeah.
and should, instead of having to worry about cancer. Oh my god, I have so many stories. There's so that's the one connection that exists, but not the only connection that exists with my cousin. So the one connection is what recently happened with Melanie talking about Faith, which, yeah, by the way, I mean, Melanie, like, I mean, I was talking to her at the summit last month. We were hanging out, and she always finds it so cool that, like, that Toontown is, like, still around, and she will tell you about the cat Toon that she runs around in, and, like, I cannot remember the name because it's one of those pick a names that's really wacky, but, like, she talks about how she ran around in the game, and pretty much she was like a senior marketing manager. Thank you, LinkedIn, for a few years. Pretty much helping oversee Disney Online's like subscription-based gaming portfolio, working on games like Toontown, and just leading a lot of different marketing strategies there. And then she jumped straight from Toontown at Disney to uh, Alsac at St. Jude. So she took her marketing skills to Memphis, and then has basically been there for nearly a couple decades now. When I first met her, she was the Chief Digital and Innovation Officer at Alsac. Currently, her new title is Chief Audience and Insights Officer.
Wow.
But all of this is to say that, like, she has a very prominent role, and gets things done at Alsac and St. Jude. And I first met her in 2022 because not only have I gone to Summit, but there was a time where they invited me back to campus to help bring back Summit because 2022 was like events were starting to come back, right?
Hmm.
Like an event like Toonfest was not really like back yet, like 2020 and 2021, but St. Jude was like, okay, how do we bring back the summit? Because right now we're virtual and like we can't have people go in the hospital rooms. So they brought me and a dozen other creators that fundraise, and they had us like sit in and do like some modified stuff to kind of bring back the summit essentially. And that was the year that I met Melanie and connected about Toontown, and like I was freaking out, another one of my friends was freaking out, like just like the fact that like someone at like Alsac works for St. Jude and also worked on Toontown. She's pretty cool. Yeah, so I mean, if anyone wants like her contact info after this, let me know. But I mean, I don't have her direct contact info, but she's awesome. And just yeah, she's got a lot of really cool like insights. It is a small world. I think that's the whole point, first of all, of just me bringing her up, because it was, of all the things, absolutely wild that someone that worked at Disney, also worked at Hasbro for a little bit, and Atari, so like the gaming industry creds, and then like St. Jude, and now we have St. Jude Play Live, which by the way has been around since 2014. So this program has actually existed for a very long time, but has grown so much after such a long time, right? So
Mhm.
um so I still have the point that I'm trying to make. The first point was like, yeah, you know, patient intersectionality with me and like the patients, like creators and patients, right? So my story with Faith gets brought up by Melanie. The other thing with St. Jude Play Live is that every now and then at the summit, they will bring in a patient and allow them to share their story and their experiences. Um, we recently had like last month, like a patient come in, and she talked about her interests. She talked about how much St. Jude means to them, and like right from the beginning of the journey to now, from beating cancer to cancer coming back, which is a very similar story that happened to my cousin.
Mhm.
And I found out that she was like a friend of my cousin, so which I was not familiar with them at first, so the connection was there. But the point I'm trying to make here is that Faith was that patient at the St. Jude Play Live Summit in 2023 when they brought it back for the first time. So all the creators that were invited, all the creators that were fundraising, got to go to Summit, as did my cousin and my aunt and some other siblings as well. They basically stepped into my world of like St. Jude Play Alive, charity fundraising. They shared their story in front of everyone, and Faith has kind of been adopted by the St. Jude Play Alive community, which is kind of wild, just knowing that like I remember when Faith was like wrapped in a blanket as a little infant, uh, you know, like just brought into this world. And I sat at like my Nana's house and I just remember like that. And then now she's like grown up, she's sassy, she's got personality, and, you know, is still dealing with the triumphs of and tribulations of fighting childhood cancer, with this rare form of bone cancer that she has that St. Jude continues to support us and not have us worry about the cost of any of it, because of all the donations that come in. So, but yeah, Faith is like very tapped into the St. Jude mission. Um, and it's kind of surreal as like a fundraiser that knows someone going to St. Jude and like is like so tight knit with like our mission as well as other St. Jude programs. Like she's appearing on the St. Jude socials. It feels like a lot of the time she's on like the national adverts every now and
Oh
then,
wow.
that play on the commercials. And I joke that she's more famous than me because she's getting a lot more views and all that fun stuff. But you know, I mean, the whole thing was like I was already fundraising before her story kind of fell into the picture. I was already on board with St. Jude's mission. And then it just so happened that one of my family members started going to St. Jude for treatment between the hospital in Memphis and then the affiliate close to them in Tulsa. And you know, from there, it's just like, you know, now we've just, you know, done what we have as a community and as like a, you know, being part of the team. I think uh maybe I'm jumping ahead, but I think one of the coolest like aspects of me actually charity fundraising isn't even the fundraising, because that is a cool part, but what's even cooler is inspiring other people to fundraise, getting to hear stories of people starting their campaigns with the Tune Up the World team and
Mm.
seeing people hit $100, $200, $500, $1,000, and it might be their first ever charity campaign, but like to inspire, to be the catalyst for getting more people in the community to support a cause like St. Jude or any charity on platforms like Twitch, Tiltify, to be people's inspiration, is like one of my like greatest honors. So it just goes to show how impactful you can be in this space in ways that don't always equate to freaking like CCV and follower count, because the industry is so obsessed over those numbers. Um,
Yeah.
when, you know, maybe we should obsess over like, I don't know, how much we could be raising right now for charity. So,
Mm.
uh, yeah, it's, you know, yeah, like the butterfly effect, right? For sure. It's, you know, Toontown loves its butterflies, and so do I. So here we are, you know, just kind of just making an impact and in our own little unique way. And yeah, I don't know. I think I've run out of tangents and thoughts for the time being. But I genuinely could stream for long hours and just yap the whole time about how much St. Jude means to me, how much charity fundraising means to me. I really do like believe it was a big reason that more doors opened for me in my creator journey, which I can also talk about later. But I will finally pass the torch back to you because you have been very patient with me.
Hey, I just loved hearing about it. I think what I love about what you shared is not just the stories that you shared and all the connections and all the tangents. I think what really spoke to me in that is just your absolute passion for St. Jude, and that's sometimes that's what's needed to like get people on board. It's, you know, it's it's we can always say that, like, these causes are important. We all know that, but actually, when you have someone that's so passionate about it, that's what inspires. And I think it comes to no surprise that so many people have been inspired by like what you have done, and like with your storytelling and your communicating and just the passion that you have behind that. So it's just so wonderful to hear all that come through and what you shared. So hence why earlier I said I don't apologize, because I just loved it. It was just amazing just to listen to you
Thank
talk
you.
about
Thank
St.
you.
Jude. And so with, I guess, like thinking about that idea of like, you're inspiring others, and there's maybe people listening being like, actually, I really want to support the cause of St. Jude, but I don't know where to start or what I can practically do. What
Mhm.
advice would you give to them?
All right, so this is where I get to put my Twitch Creator Club charity advisor hat on. So, all right, everybody, listen up. Yeah, I joke whenever people raid me, I wear a lot of hats, literally and figuratively, because I do, especially on the Purple site, where I am mentoring in the Pride Guild. I am an advisor in the Charity Creator Club. I am pursuing these roles and like being able to help people when they have questions. I'm bringing people into panels so we can like have discussions and help other creators like grow their communities. And I don't care like what your follower count is. Like if you're in it to help people and you have good intentions, then like you can have a seat at the table. Let's have a chat, right? So yeah, I you know, the the opportunity to inspire other people is like what gives me like purpose. um I mean, for one, like as a creator, influencer, whatever you want to call it, you are like, having that impact on people, but what kind of impact do you want to have on people, right? And for everyone it's a different answer, because we all have different definitions of success and failure and what kind of impact we want to have on the world. So for me, like inspiring people is like the most incredible thing, being able to dedicate time to supporting creators. So in that sense, when it comes to like any sort of like advice that I would give for like charity streaming, I would first say I would start by giving one piece of advice that I give to streamers, which is if you want to learn more about like how streaming is and the trends and what is working and what isn't working, go watch other streams. Like actually not and I make sure you go watch other streams, and then I encourage people like, you know, actively like participate in a community or two, engage with the creator, ask them questions, or just have a good laugh with them in the chat, watch what people are doing, see tr- l- see different kinds of communities, right? And then when it comes to charity fundraising, if you want to do that, like go watch some charity fundraisers and see what they are doing to effectively call for donations and to tell stories, kind of like we do here. I'm just one of many amazing people that are supporting St. Jude right now. I'm not the one that's raised over $600,000 this year for St. Jude Play Alive, but we're a small part of something much bigger, and there are many people that deserve to be like recognized for their efforts. So, um, yeah, I would say like, go watch others, learn from others. And when it comes to charity streaming in particular, research is important. So, understanding the stewardship of funds and how funds break down, like to what cent of the dollar is going towards administrative costs, to what cent of the dollar is going towards that patient care. There are resources that I can shout out, like Charity Navigator, that will give that breakdown, that will help dissect for each individual like charity and stuff, like what their ratings are, what it is they do. Um, Charities tend to have like financial transparency reports that they're required to like make public. So there's a lot that you can dive into and take your time with. But all of that can sound overwhelming, right? So what I would say, to put it into gamer terms, is to maybe join a Discord server or two. So when it comes to like, maybe you find a charity stream team out there, or maybe you go to a fundraising platform like Tiltify and look at the Discord that they have and start asking questions. Um, there are, people genuinely in the space that will sit down, they will mentor, they will answer your questions, they will point you towards fantastic resources that I have bookmarked that I will look back on every year. That I will take with me if I'm hosting a charity panel at a convention somewhere. We're all on the same team, I think is like the will go. But the only way you're going to know is by doing it. So if you want a charity fundraise and you raise $50, $100, whatever it might be, that is more that that organization did not have before. That is really uh, going to help someone. So, I mean, all it takes at St. Jude is like $5 to have a parent spend more time with their children, and that's all that a parent should have to worry about. They shouldn't have to worry about what the treatment is going to cost. They shouldn't have to worry about that. They should just have to worry about making sure their kid is okay. And it just takes a few bucks to like make that happen at St. Jude. So, like Danny Thomas is the founder of St. Jude. He was a famous entertainer and stuff. But he would rather have like, instead of just one person donating like $1 million, he said that he would rather have 1 million people donate $1. And he said that because he wants more awareness for St. Jude. So that is the whole idea, to raise awareness and to let everyone know that we're on the same team. Because St. Jude costs a lot of money to run every day, and you know they can't do it without people like y'all donating and people like Saya Ran rating my stream so I can help raise awareness. So thank you, Saya Ran. I will see you this upcoming weekend, by the way. Good to see you. I'm being interviewed and asked questions by the amazing Panda Phil Plays here. But that's what I would say, Phil, to people that are looking to maybe get their feet on the ground with charity streaming. And also, like, I know I'm like established streamer, but I'm also very approachable. If you have questions, I am more than happy to help. I'm not like the advisor on charity fundraising, period. I'm one of many helpful people. But if people have questions, I have helped answer them. So that's what I would say to answer your question.
I think that's a great answer to the question, and it's so true about that the team. Like, we are one big team raising money for the same cause. Because I think I think it was last year because it was around about this time where my son was basically, we were told that he was going to be born many weeks early, and like even just like your story about how like parents shouldn't have to think about the costs, and like just when you mentioned that, I was like, oh my goodness, I just couldn't help but think back to when he was born, he had to stay in the neonatal unit for like 9 days, like in an incubator, to like basically keep him alive and warm, because he's like it was essentially life threatening, and like that was worrying enough for me. So if I had to then think about costs of it all, I think I would honestly have broken down at that point, because that's just it's so much when you've got your child there. So that just thinking about that just like really spooks me a little bit. I thought of that.
I had a similar. I won't obviously dive too deep into it, but I have mentioned before that I also was like an early bird myself. So that is like something that parents should not have to like think about when something like that happens, right? Like, they just want to make sure their kid is okay, but they don't want that looming bill or bills looming overhead that like completely detracts from that undivided attention. So that's why we want to help these families make sure that they don't have to pay for those like treatment costs. Yes, very, very much preemies. We were, yes, very much. There is some neat little stories there, but but I can understand after like hearing from my parents' own experiences how like that can be a moment filled with so much uncertainty, and that's something I completely get.
I think I think it's so important to recognize, like, even that time, like last year, where I was like, oh, I didn't raise that much money for St. Jude. I was a little bit gutted, but also understood why. But at the same time, it didn't really matter too much, because at the end of the day, I was like, it's something. And equally, when you look at the big, like, everyone else involved, it's incredible. So, and it's like every dollar counts. Like, anything that can be given does matter. And like you said, it's better to have 1 million people give $1 than it is for one person to give $1 million, because it raises awareness and makes more people informed of what they do. So I have one final question for you, and I am so appreciative of your time for this. And this is a question that's quite general, I guess, in terms of it can be, and this is from the community as well. Like, you can take it to think about, like, your content creator journey, or whether that is about Toontown, or even just with St. Jude. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I don't know, dude. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, man. You tell me. I mean, I can't do this without y'all, so like, no. I mean, yes, that's true, but he's me. uh, I mean, I don't know. I don't know whether I continue doing this as like my main thing, or if I'm like knee deep in the world of corporate capitalism, whatever. Because I'm still, I have to recognize that I'm still a broke 20 something year old. Like, I have done a lot through this community, and I still have a lot to learn, and I still have a lot of self-development and growing to do. So I hope that in 5 years that we continue to be raising more money for fantastic causes, doing more, collaborative, bringing people together things. Maybe I'll be like doing more hosting like this in some capacity, maybe, who knows. And I think that, I don't know, maybe we can like double, or I don't know, maybe double the lifetime raise for St. Jude, or even charity as a whole. Maybe try to like expand my high end impact to other causes too. But yeah, I mean, I really don't have the answer. I feel like I was a little more futuristic when I was in like high school, college, and now I'm like a lot more like, you know, looking outside the window like, wow, the world's kind of on fire. But I think that I should just focus on like my immediate surroundings and like the people around me, and living in the present moment. And that has like drawbacks, that has cons, but it also has allowed me to just like, you know, live the life that other people would probably want me to live. Because of streaming, whether directly or indirectly, I've gotten to meet so many people, and am still meeting a lot of great people. I have gotten to lead, I have gotten to serve, I have gotten to travel across oceans. Um, it has all kind of like blown my mind, and I never like take a millisecond of it for granted. I think one day at a time, focusing on one foot in front of the other is like, you know, like people will certainly like criticize it. You see the jokes, half jokes of like, by 28 years old, you need to have invested half of your savings into a 401k and buy your dream house. I'm like, no, that's not really feasible for me. I'm just trying to make it month to month. And I, currently do that with streaming. It's not guaranteed, but, I think at the end of the day, though, even looking past 5 years, I think streaming is just always going to be a part of like what I do. Or if it's not streaming, then it's broadcasting. And it's just like, you know, being, present, and focusing more on just being my true authentic self every time I, press that go live button, which isn't always easy, but it's something I just really enjoy doing. I would not be streaming super long hours and, you know, playing games like Toontown and other games, getting involved with other communities too. Like, I wouldn't be doing any of this if I didn't love it. Um, and I wouldn't be fundraising for St. Jude if I wasn't, passionate about the cause in the way that I am. But every year I continue to take pies in the face and support this cause and support this community. And I just hope that, people continue to like the things that I do, and that people can maybe realize that, you know, if I have the power to create cool stuff, then maybe they do too. And if I can inspire that next creator or that next aspiring artist or musician or whatever, then then that alone is like pretty pretty meaningful. So that's what I would say.
I think that's a great answer. I think, as I said, it's the sometimes trying to look to head in the future is really difficult, and sometimes like, not to sound so much like an old man, but I really am. It's almost like if you look so much into the future, you end up getting lost in the present, and so that present, like, it's so
Yeah, I
important to be
mean,
present.
like it is important to plan for the future. I don't do that as well, but you know, it's also just as important, if not more important, to not miss the things happening around you. And if you don't stop to smell the flowers every now and then you know, you learn so much from doing so, and you plant your feet firmly on the ground, and just you know, just being able to like you know uh not stress too much about what is coming, but just be present. I don't know, that to me I think is just so important, because you know, unless there is someone with immortality that I don't know about, we all have time limits, but we want to make the most of it, I think. So that is what I have been doing a lot lately, at least for my 20s, because every time I see a video on like Instagram Reels that's like interviewing the older generation and the one thing that they wish they could have done in their 20s more, 9.9 times out of 10 the answer is like travel. The answer is like socializing more, and doing all these things. So I feel like even though I'm like halfway through my 20s, I can confidently like say that like I'm already defining my 20s in a way that like I can look back on when I'm older and like be proud of, um and like not have as many regrets or anything. So, I feel like in that sense, I'm currently living a pretty fulfilled life. I don't have a lot of money. I don't have a lot of rich fame, fortune, but uh, I'm pretty grounded and content with the journey I've been on, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Love that, and I think, yeah, keep it going. And I just want to say, like, for everything that you've done for St. Jude and for all the different causes, like, thank you for being such a massive inspiration. Like, not only just doing this and what you've shared, but just in your overall posture, I guess, like through in your streams and content creation. It's just amazing, and I've always been inspired. Like, since I've been doing like streaming, I've always been inspired by like all the things that you've done to like raise awareness and raise money, like, but most of all, it's that, as I said, it's a raising awareness. That is what really matters in all this, to get more people inspired and encouraged to support causes such as St. Jude's. So thank you so much for being an inspiration, and also thank you so much for your time today. It is so appreciated.
Absolutely, anytime. Thank you for having me on your show. And I mean, it's great that you're tapping into the stories and experiences of our like community. And yeah, I think it's really cool. I mean, there were a lot of stories I did not get to tell on this episode, but that I think are, fun for me to continue to share. So if y'all have questions about things that you might want me to share stories on, you are always welcome to swing by. I mainly stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/Smirky. That's where you can follow me. But I also have my OG like YouTube channel, which is where I like started my streams. I have my Instagram, Twitter X, Blue Sky, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever platforms I'm on. I'm probably on them. So yeah, that is that is me, and I would love to have y'all stop by. So yeah, thank you, Phil, for having me on your show.
Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day.
You as well. Thank you.
Take care. Bye. there we have it. That was Smirky. I'm just in absolute awe of Smirky and all that he has done, and just a story like an incredible storyteller as well. I should add, um, just phenomenal. I should probably leave the collaboration as well to avoid any confusion. Um, there you go. But I hope you enjoyed it. I absolutely loved it. It was amazing to have just to hear Smirky sharing the story of St. Jude, but also Toontown. Like there was just so much to it, and for those, if you missed part of it, do not worry. I will be putting it onto YouTube. I mean, I am currently live on YouTube right now, but I'll be doing a bit of an edit, which breaks it down a bit as well. But I hope you really enjoyed it. And I was expecting it to go on so long because I was going to do a building marathon afterwards, but I'm just very aware of timing because like it's late for me. I'm an old man now. I gotta get some sleep, but also got to get some on with some other bits and pieces whilst I have the opportunity to. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna do a raid, and it will make the most sense for those on Twitch, I should make it clear, to raid the wonderful Smirky. It just makes sense, I think. In my opinion, it makes sense. Alright? I'm just saying. So we're going to raid Smirky right now. So if you are a sub, this is the raid message you can use, or if you're not, you can use that raid message. And this is just our way of showing our wonderful appreciation to those who are raiding, such as Smirky. So we are going to raid the absolutely incredible Smirky. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me on this stream today. It's been incredible. And I'm so hoping that the stream together has ended. Otherwise, everyone's going to see these messages already. But I don't think they can, so it's all good. But everyone, thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. I will let you know what's happening next week on stream. If you haven't already, do feel free to join my socials, apart from X, because I'm not on there, but Discord, YouTube, Blue Sky, I'm all on there. But in the meantime, have a good morning, a good afternoon, and a good evening, and see you all next time. Bye!
Thanks a million. Thanks, friend. Thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate you. Unfortunately, I have to run ads, so y'all are here just in time for ads to run in a few minutes. I have been snoozing my ad break, so just know that ads are gonna run. I really appreciate y'all for being here. Yeah, I'm vibing, man. But yeah, I'm gonna answer my favorite Toonfest memory while ads are running. But before ads run, I'm gonna say what the actual like thing is. So my favorite like proper like Toonfest memory, I think it always has to do with like the big panels, the reveals, the like excitement of the crowd. You know, my top clip on the channel though is that little girl going up to the microphone with her father and asking Joey if he liked his job. That is my top clip. Do y'all remember that? Let me grab the link. It is my top clip of like all time. Let me see. Where is this? It's like my #1 clip. It has remained notorious as my #1 clip. And I was just streaming from my phone, dude. Where is